In this video, I'm going to help you take some time and set up your spreadsheet and use some formatting. First thing you will probably need to do is to take your mouse between the columns, for example, A and B, and if you hold your mouse between those columns, you can click and drag your mouse towards the right, which will then widen the column. You can continue to do that for additional columns that you may need to make wider. You can also widen your rows by taking your mouse between the numbers 1 and 2, for example, and you can make the rows wider. You're going to use the Insert tab to insert a header. When inserting a header, it will change to a different view, so you should be familiar with the 3 view icons in the lower right corner. Normal and page layout are probably the 2 views you'll be working with the most. The normal view is the way that it opens and you cannot see the header once you've inserted it. If you have it on the page layout view, it actually shows you where the header would go and the margin area. So keep in mind, if you want to change the view, you're welcome to do so. It's a matter of preference. Once you have inserted the header, you can then insert word art by using the Insert tab again, and in that text group that we went to find header and footer, you will have a word art icon that you can use. When you create your text for your word art, you will drag it basically by clicking on the edges of it. You may need to make the font smaller so that it will basically fit in the size of the row.
Henry Benson, please report to the office. Henry Benson, please report to the office.
Once you have your text placed where you want it, you can call it car analysis, car project, something that makes sense to what this information is. And your next step would be then to start entering the data on your car data sheet.
Henry Benson, please report to the office.
I can continue to use the cells to type the remaining information that I may need: interest rate, years, months. But at some point you may need to use something called wrap text, which if we use the wrap text button, I would want to select something that doesn't quite fit in the cell. I'm trying to select interest rate. So if I select the interest rate cell, it doesn't quite fit. I could, one, make the column bigger, or secondly, maybe I could use the alignment group and choose wrap text. By choosing wrap text, it makes the one word display above the other word. Another option that you can do is to use the orientation button basically to slant the way your text appears, just to maybe give it a different type of effect. So if I select my car number 1 label there, I go into my alignment group, and I'm going to find the icon for orientation of the text. If I select the drop-down arrow, I can format it to my own liking by going to Format Cell Alignment. If you notice the dial on the right-hand side, you can change the degree angle, maybe that's about 17 degrees, 15 degrees. I can then select OK. Once I have applied that, I can use the Format Painter button. If I click on it 2 times, it doesn't copy the word, it copies the format, and usually when you press on it twice, you can then apply it to multiple cells that you want to also have slanted. And that's the Format Painter. So it doesn't copy the text, it copies the format that was applied. And maybe also having something shaded or colored in, you could simply do that by selecting your cell that you want to shade. You can go to your font button, your font section, and find your paint bucket and shade in the color of a cell. I also want to take a moment, and when we type in a number, for example, if I'm typing in like the base price of a car, maybe it's $42,000, I can simply type in the number and then apply the currency, or what they refer to as the accounting format, by going up to the number button. In the number group here, there's a $sign. It's the accounting format. If I click on that, you will then notice that I have a $sign and the commas. Hopefully this video has given you a little bit of information if you've been absent from class, and you can actually get started using some of the formatting techniques. You may now want to move on to taking a look at how to change the paper orientation or one of the other additional videos.